And we are less than 2 hours away from the polls opening on this election day, and this could be a big day for state House Republicans.
You know, for 60 years, Democrats have dominated the New Mexico House of Representatives, but now Republicans are hoping this is the year they could take back the majority. The battle is even getting national attention. News 13's Catherine Mazzone is live at Washington Middle School, where folks are going to start voting here very soon. So, Catherine, what's going on?
Well, Matt, there's a very close race. It's 37 Democrats to just 33 Republicans in the state House. That means just a few seats could tie things up. So that makes for a very close race, of course. Political experts say it's no-brainer why Democrats have had the upper hand in the House for so long. There are more than 100,000 more Democrats than Republicans registered to vote. But the GOP is optimistic this year. Earlier this year, a well-funded Republican political group forked over funds to 9 GOP House candidates. Another national group, the Republican State Leadership Committee, said the New Mexico House is one of its top targets. Now that's nationwide. But it's not lost on Democratic leaders. They say Democratic donors invested, and so has the Democratic Legislative Campaign Committee. Here's a breakdown of the numbers here in Bernalillo County. Folks who've already cast their vote. At last check, the county clerk's office says nearly 41,000 Democrats have voted and just over 32,000 Republicans. So with those numbers, it's all going to come down to who shows up to the polls today. They open up in just a few hours, less than a few hours now at 7 a.m. and they won't close until 7 p.m. tonight. Matt, back to you.
All right, thank you for the update, Catherine. There's already talk that if Republicans take back control, Representative Nate Gentry of Bernalillo County could be voted in as a possible speaker. Right now, the Speaker of the House is Democratic Representative Ken Martinez, who also represents part of Bernalillo County. Crystal?
And voters in Bernalillo County and Santa Fe will also cast their opinion on a controversial poll question today. The question asks voters if they support or don't support reducing pot penalties. Earlier this year, Secretary of State Diana Duran said those poll questions could not be put on the ballot because they have no legal impact. The case made its way to the state Supreme Court, and justices ruled Duran wasn't doing her duty as an elected official when she refused to put the questions on the ballot and ordered her to do so. Another poll question for voters in Bernalillo County is getting people's opinion about a possible tax increase for mental health services. The tax, if ever implemented, would raise about $20 million a year. Supporters say it's needed for programs. Opponents argue money to support that already exists. Again, it's just an advisory question and won't actually increase taxes at this point.
It's always a good idea to make sure you know what you're voting for when you head to the polls. One amendment that's on the ballot could save taxpayers money, and it is confusing, and you might vote incorrectly accidentally or simply skip the question altogether because you get frustrated. This is Amendment 1. It aims to allow school elections to be held along with other nonpartisan elections, such as city council, to go ahead and save money. But the way it's worded is confusing. To allow the change, you actually have to vote no. Voting no actually means yes, you like the change. Even a sponsor of the amendment, State Senator Daniel Ivy Soto, told New Mexico Watchdog the proposal, quote, could have been phrased more clearly. County clerks advise that you research the amendments thoroughly before heading to the polls so that you know how you intend to vote.
And as to be expected, the candidates for the governor's seat are making last-minute pleas to voters.
I am calling for Gary King's campaign.
Join me in supporting Governor Martinez.
Governor Susana Martinez was in southern New Mexico while Gary King was in northern New Mexico this week. Volunteers on both sides spent Monday trying to get their message out.
One, encouraging them to vote. Number two, encouraging them to vote for Gary.
Democrats, Republicans, and independents like what Governor Martinez is doing.
Now, King's campaign says they are not throwing in the towel and they're hoping to prove the polls wrong. King just picked up a huge endorsement from former President Bill Clinton. Martinez has had some big campaign visits this election, though, from New Jersey Governor Chris Christie and former presidential candidate Mitt Romney. Now, here's a breakdown of the latest absentee and early voting numbers for Bernalillo County. Officials tell us more than 29,000 absentee ballots were mailed out to voters. Of that, more than 20,000 have been returned. We're told another 2,000 ballots were received yesterday, which are still being processed. Now expect News 13 to have you covered on tonight's election 2014. We'll bring you live reports, campaign watches, and poll numbers as they come into our newsroom. We'll also have political commentary throughout the night hosted by former News 13 anchor Dick Niffing and political expert Gabe Sanchez. You can watch here on KRQE or on 2 Casa. You can also log on to our website. That's krqe.com for more information about this election before you head out to the polls.
All right, 5:37 now. This afternoon, UNM is talking with students about something you probably don't hear about every day. It's called revenge porn. It's when people post naked pics or videos of their exes to humiliate them. It's becoming so common, a state legislator here in New Mexico is trying to get a law passed to make it a crime. 13 states are already trying to do that. And New Mexico Representative Brian Egoff is trying to do the same thing here. He created a bill to make revenge porn a crime in the last legislative session, but says there simply wasn't enough time to get it passed. So Representative Egoff says he'll try again in January. In the meantime, UNM is hosting a workshop this afternoon on coping with ending relationships that will include a talk on revenge porn.
I don't know if people understand the ramifications of digital media in general.
I guess it comes with a level of maturity. If you're going to go ahead and do something like that to begin with, you should know that that is a potential consequence somewhere down the road.
Now, the workshop is for students only. It's at 3:30 at the Student Health and Counseling Building. The bill that the representative is trying to introduce would make it illegal to send, say, naked pictures of people without their permission.
You have to be careful with that stuff, though. You don't know who to trust these days. Do not take naked pictures. Do not video.
If you don't want people to see them,
Take
because
video as
look
well.
at what's been hacked off the iCloud
Exactly.
and off people's private phones and servers.
You
So
just
all
never
the
know.
celebrities, yeah.